How will the market develop after the weak rebound of Bitcoin? If you are interested in this issue, please follow me. Looking at the daily line, we can find that last night, Bitcoin tested it again. We had it before when it comes to the lowest point after the plunge, which is about 25,200 to 300 US. We came back to test it again yesterday. The low point before we came back to test is the position of the needle tip before stepping on the ground. In fact, after the plunge, we have discussed this situation for you. And this situation is also what we think is the most likely to happen. We also got verification last night. So this situation can tell us when the plunge occurs. In fact, we can still hold short orders for a while, if we don't take profits in a good position, because we have plummeted to the lowest point. It is very, very likely to step back. Why? In fact, the biggest reason is because this wave of pinning has a lot of power from the rebound, caused by the liquidation of short positions in futures. This kind of rebound is not a real demand, so it can't last. The unsustainable rise will eventually happen. There is a very high probability that it will be stepped back again. Let's take a look. In fact, the market we are now going after has fallen. It is very, very weak. We can actually mark a level, which is probably here. If it is converted into a price, you can find it at about 26,200 US. We had a very obvious change of hands in this place in the early stage. You can see that there is a support here, and then there is a step on the support here. In this place, it also has the original in the action of replacing support with resistance. We are now in this position. If we cut the level a little bit, we can find that we have not even rebounded. This is a very, very weak behavior. In fact, the high point of our rebound after the current decline is probably rounded up to about 270,000. So I would think that when our price has not rebounded past 270,000, when this wave of our decline is actually over, it cannot be said to be over, or it cannot be said to have come to an end. When this wave of decline comes to an end, we must at least return to the top of 270,000. In fact, with our current market situation, we definitely have another drop. The possibility of exploring a deeper position is good. Then we will switch to the daily line and switch back to the daily line. We can find that we are currently testing the position of 25,000. 25,000 is actually still on the weekly line. It is very important to swap on the daily line. Well, if we want to start a rebound now, I will also think that he will come back a few times and step on the original bottom point, which is the position of the needle tip, at about 25,200 to 300 US. I think that many times we can actually review the market. In the past, we wanted to start a rebound. In fact, he stepped on the needle tip back and forth 2 or 3 times before he started the rebound. Then I think this time there is a very, very chance, no exception, like we can see before. After the FTX incident, it fell and immediately rebounded. However, we can observe the position of the needle point in our follow-up, and he actually came back. It has been stepped on many times. Okay. If we use a horizontal white line to mark it, we can emphasize this price. We can find that it actually came down after the first time, went through the second pin insertion, and then came to the second time. We didn't start to rise after 3 solid steps. And he didn't start to rise immediately. Even before we started to rise, he also experienced solid moves. Of course, we also had the previous few plunges in the market. In fact, this is the case. It can be seen that before we plummeted, we fell at the position of about 20,000 for the first time, and then stepped on it for the second time. The second time we stepped on it, we started to rebound afterward. In fact, we have many times of plummets. It is very, very similar to the position of the needle tip of the market. If he wants to start a rebound, he will go back and forth a few times to step on the ground. Then we will have a corresponding market in the future. In fact, we are currently, I think, if we want to start a rebound, it is also very possible to come back and step on the low point we created before. If it does not break down after stepping on it a few times, it is actually the position for our short order to take profit in stages. because we just talked about 20,005th. This position is very important on the weekly and daily lines. Everyone will be most concerned about the level. I believe it is the first time to test it. If we zoom in several times to test the first time, I believe it will be more difficult. If it breaks down, if there is a better rebound, then I personally think it is a very good time to enter the market. After all, we are still at a new high. During this period of decline, there is indeed a chance to judge it. But you also know when the market happens? It's about 5 to 6 o'clock in our East 8th District. Because I went to bed in the middle of the night and he still hasn't happened. The market is yes. This one is there. But the bottom one is not. This one is indeed for our time zone. It's really not easy for people to catch it. If you didn't open a good position in front. Well, let's take a look at the weak rebound we are going on now. I think it is very dangerous. And it has a very good chance. If you say if he didn't turn on the rebound, then he might have broken down directly when we tested the low point. Because our rebound is really weak. As you can see, when we were in this position before, he hit the support and turned on after the weak rebound. He directly started the next wave of down kills. So we are in this position. In fact, if we rebound and are as weak as we are now, there is no way to return to our swap or our 270,000 has not been broken. If the staged stop is not completed, then this weak rebound, there is a possibility that we will continue to go short in the follow-up. Or after a weak rebound. We must be careful about this. So my current trading plan is to go long and buy bottoms. Which is definitely not done. Because the current rebound is too weak. If you go short, the current price is definitely not suitable. Even if the direction is right. This will make people very worried. The best situation is that there will be a good rebound. What about this time? It will be a very, very good time to enter the market. In fact, it is not that it is not possible at all. If we say that the rebound is still very weak, it is possible to break directly. But if you want to place a position, then the position should be relatively small. After all, the entry price is indeed a lot worse than the people above. Thank you very much. Everyone is very welcome. You can help me like, subscribe, share, and turn on the little bell. It is my greatest support. Thank you very much. Bye everyone.